Hello, welcome to the Digital Image Fundamental lecture. In this lecture, we see the human visual system. The human visual system consists of two functional parts. First one, eye, and part of brain. Eye function as a biological equivalent of camera, and brain is somewhat complex as compared to the image processing. Figure shows the cross-section of the human eye and identifies its most important parts. When the light rays are strong enough and within the right range of electromagnetic spectrum, the healthy eye will react to such a ray by sending an electric signal to the brain through the optic nerve. When the light ray hits the eye, it will first pass through cornea, then subsequently through aqueous humor, iris and lens, and vitreous humor before finally reaching the retina. The cornea is a transparent protective layer which acts as a lens, refracts the light. The iris forms a round aperture that can vary in size and so determine the amount of light that can pass through. Under dark circumstances, the iris is wide open, letting through as much as light as possible. In normal daylight, iris constrict to a small hole. The lens can vary its shape to focus the perceived image onto the retina. In the retina, the light rays are detected and converted to electrical signal by photoreceptors. The eye has two types of photoreceptors, rods and cones, named after their approximate shape. The rods abundant about the 100 million in human eye and spread evenly about the retina, except at the fovea, where there are almost none. The fovea is the area of the retina where our vision is sharpest. There are much fewer cones, about 6 to 7 millions, which are mainly located around the fovea, but can be found in low density in the entire retina. No photoreceptors are found at the point where the optic nerve attaches to the eye. So that point is called as the blind spot. So we cannot perceive anything there. Since rods are more responsive to light than cones, we can identify three types of vision depending on the amount of light that reaches the eye. Under dark circumstances, practically only the rods are active. Since rods cannot discriminate colors, we perceive only shades of grey. We call this scototopic or night vision. Under daylight circumstances, the cones are most active and we experience phototopic or day vision. In dimly lighted circumstances, there is an intermediate stage where both rods and cones are active, called mesopic vision. We are able to distinguish the colors because there are three distinct types of cones each is sensitive to different bands of the electromagnetic spectrum. The relative sensitivity as a function of wavelength of the cones as shown in the figure. We can see that one type of cone is almost exclusively active in the region of 400 to 500 nanometers, and hence enable us to perceive colors in the violet-blue part of the spectrum. The other two types have only a slightly different response curve and enable us to see colors in the spectrum from cyan to red. By combining the response of three types of cones in small area of the retina, we are able to perceive any color. This process is called trichomocy. Because of the trichromatic way of the human operates, we also need three distinct colors to reproduce a certain color on medium. For example, if you look up close at TV screen, you will notice screen is built of tiny dots or stripes of either red, blue or green. This is all about the structure and how our eye is working. Now we see how image is formed in the eye. As you see graphical representation of eye, looking for the palm tree, the focal length of the eye is 17 to 14 millimeters. Let h be the height in millimeter of that object in the written image. Then the height of the tree, that is 15 divided by 100, equal to h divided by 7. This is equal to 2.55 millimeter. The retinal image is reflected primarily in the area of the cone.